Okay, so this is what this fella and I did yesterday, right? Everything in there Andre wants. I want it too. Just needs to be washed, people. So, I'm gonna continue clearing out in here, right? So that Jerry has a place to work. Tidied up a bit in there, right? Just a bit in here to start. Because I just need to basically make room for him to work right now. Like I said, I'm not washing anything until I can put it away properly. There's no point. You know what? These people next door right here, they may have very well been the ones that called the city, even though they got their garbage sitting there for the last 5 fucking years. And who knows what's behind that fence? And who knows what they've got in their garage? Nobody knows, right? Could be a grow-op for all we know. Because they're rude. You know, they never let Andre play with their kids, right? They were out here the other day with somebody. Those kids, they came in here and were wanting to play with the toys, even if they were a little dirty. And the parents ran and grabbed kids and took off. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it's not a GMI moment. Maybe it's the neighbors next door that are racists, right? Moving into my country with their attitude. And because they can afford to buy this property back in the day, because they're not friendly people, they're really not. They'll drive up in their vehicle and they'll smile, but at the end of the day, you know, actions speak louder than words, right? So anyway, we knew this was a hot spot, right? Because everything's been kind of moving. Like I said, I've been planting, that's been the priority. And now that I know somebody that can do a little bit of repairs, knows how to frame. This is all coming down this year. My landlord's going to have to pay for it. My job is to gut the garage and get it ready. I already informed my landlords. We got some leaking. I know what it is, but I don't know how to fix it. Plus, you know, you're going to have to test it to make sure that the beams are okay. Right? Because of all that water that pools because of the leaky roof. So far, to me, the beams look okay, but then I'm not a carpenter, so you got to take a pick and you got to poke it, right? You got to poke the wood to make sure that the beams are okay, right? Otherwise, it's not going to hold the frame. So anyway, I got to get up on this, and we're going to start. And as I do this, I'm gripped with fear, people, right? Because whatever I do today might be gone tomorrow, and my landlords will be charged $5,000 to $10,000 for an hour's worth of work to come in here and grab up Andre's toys. Seriously. Well, these people next door fucking laugh. Okay, people, so we've got a man working here. Men are coming out of the woodwork. Serious. Right? Everybody wants to work in Surrey. So if there's jobs, they're working. All right? So Rick is going to take on the chore of fixing up the hen house, turning it into a seedling room, making it so it doesn't leak for me, people. Going to make sure it's raccoon proof. But as he's going throughout the yard, he's going to build in some cat boxes or little cat cubbies for, you know, Boots too, who needs it in the winter, and whatever else cats roaming in the neighborhood, including my own. And he's going to be working on the greenhouse and putting some windows in for me because I'm just too tired. And he's another framer. So we've got 2 framers on, well, 3 actually. We've got Jerry working on Andre's shed. We've got Rick now working on the seedling room, aka hen house, which is going to transpire over to the greenhouse, as we've got Alex on the property working. So between the 3 men, 2 out of 3 will work on the garage. So for now, I just want to spread the good news, and when there's a will, there's a way. Okay, and here's another thing, people. The city has to realize that there's always a detour in my life. In other words, you start working in one corner of the yard and you end up somewhere else. I mean, you have to be an opportunist, right? And fellows are wanting to work. So, you know, Commerce just might get a little less money this month, and they can phone me up for it next month. Because, you know, I need to get this stuff done, and the men are wanting to work, and I have the materials, you can see. So, you know, this fella, he appreciates the fact that he can pick and choose what he needs as he's building, right? And I'm already impressed. So I just wanted to say that, you know, I can't really work in the back right now where the city wants me to work outside of, you know, I can't because I got to be back here with this fella. So I guess I'm going to go out here and just kind of organize some of the stuff that we got from next door, make it a little more accessible because it was just brought in yesterday, right? So, and he's building here, so I'm like extremely happy. Okay, people. I'm so tired. I'll be out here till dark. Come back out again tomorrow. Anyway, we have 3 men working on the site. We've got Jerry working on the shed. We've got, I think his name is Alex. Yep. He was helping me do weeding and grass and whatnot yesterday, but he's also a framer. Yes, and he helped move all the toys over to that side. And he's also a framer. Andre, no, don't pull him out, please.
I just want one.
I'm piling the toys and he's pulling them out. Just one. He doesn't want to give up any of them. They're fine. They just need to be washed, people. It's because of the trees and the rain and the dirt. So anyway, I've washed these toys like 5 times already since I've lived here. So I'm not washing them until I can put them away. And when he wants to play with them, I can pull them out and then they can be put away. This tree is going to have to be trimmed though. But as I was saying, hope my nosy neighbors aren't listening. The ones that are racist. Don't even speak English and they're racist. Don't ask me how that one works. You come to a country where you accuse people of being racist, but you end up being racist yourself. Doesn't make any sense. So, we got 3 fellas working now. Because I've said this before, I'm tired, people. I want these structures finished. I want the front with the cement slabs down, the pond in, right? And then whatever's miscellaneous wood after that is either going to be burned up in the fire pit, and I'm going to try and get the chimneys cleaned this year and burn them in the fireplace. And then it will be much better. So we've got Jerry working on Andre's shed. We've got Rick that came in today. I met him over there from my neighbors as everything is, which by the way, my grandson took his bike over there. Don't ask me, he left it there for a measly 5 minutes and that got taken. It's been like a free-for-all today. I've had like people come to my yard, try and take stuff from my yard because I guess they figured that they were taking from there. They could try and come into my yard and take. Some guy came over here asking where his bike was because somebody took his bike from out there. The guy, Rick, almost had his bike taken today. I came around the corner, some guy was wheeling his bike, almost putting it on a truck. Andre lost his bike. Actually, Andre's had his scooter stolen from back here.
And my skateboard.
And his skateboard has been taken from back here. Someone just took my recycling city bin like a week or 2 ago because I was just out here like a week and a half ago starting to gather stuff up before the city even came along. Right? Everything's been kind of going this way from the side of the house this way. I have to put the food in the ground, people. I still have to plant food. There's still food that needs to go in the ground. But besides that point, and then Alex is over there, and he's a framer. So between the 3 of them, 2 of them, more than likely Rick and Alex, will probably work in the garage. Once this is all figured out, then the garage gets gutted. I've already talked to my landlord about it, and we're going to do some repairs in there. So the guys want to work, okay? Like they're eager to work, they're happy to work, So if the community provides work for, you know, the neighborhood, you're going to find people that want to work. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. The only thing is, I have no money, people. Like, I've already given, what, Jerry 60. I gave Alex $45 yesterday, and he worked pretty hard, okay? These are men. These are not children, right? And I gave $40 today to Rick. He still owes me an hour and a half. Trying to do $10 an hour. I would prefer 15, but you know, Jerry gets 15. Rick and Alex 10, 12. You know, depending. I really can't afford $15 an hour. It's too much, especially if I'm paying. I gave the neighbors next door some money for the stuff. At first I offered the man yesterday, he wouldn't take it, but the woman, you know, she asked a little today, and I told my other neighbor, I already tried to offer to give them money, you know, they need, you know, they're giving everything away, right? I'm not a taker, right? So I gave her $40 today. So let's do the math. 40, 45, that's 85, 60, 85, 60, that's what, 145, and another, oh God. Okay, let's do Jerry first. Jerry was 60, Alex was 45, that's 110. I gave $40 to Rick today, that's 150. Rick still owes me an hour and a half. So he's supposed to come back tomorrow, right? So that's what, 150, and then I gave them next door 40. So that's like $190 that I've already forked out since yesterday, people. And then my kids get mad at me. Why are you giving people money? Why don't you just move? Like a GMOI. I said, where am I going? How am I getting there? And what's going to happen when I get there? Right? And why would I want to give up my raspberry bushes and my blueberry bushes and my plum tree? Even though there's no plums this year, doesn't mean there won't be plums next year. I still have canned plums. I don't know about the pear tree. And of course, I've got tons of food growing in the yard. Right? A leaky boat is better than no boat. But, you know, when people just simply go missing and disappear into the abyss, right? That puts your life back, the ones that, you know, the family that they were plucked from. You know, it's like the body snatcher. Uncle John was body snatched, right? And there's ramifications behind that. 2.5 years later, I'm behind in life, right? As I'm still trying to do the right thing and being criticized for it, not only by some members on YouTube that like to creep my YouTube channel and then go up on GMOI and gossip, right? But, you know, even my own kids, they get mad at me. Why are you spending money? You say you can't afford hydro and you can't, you know, yeah, well, wait till it's done, people. Wait till it's done. It's going to be very nice. And then people will be jealous. They'll be jealous because I have something nice, and then they'll try even harder to get me evicted so they can either, like these people over there, would love for me to move out and have my landlord sell this house because they'd be the first ones crossing over trying to buy it just so that they can have the greenhouse. That's the kind of, you know, instead of trying to help, right? Instead of trying to help, they don't want to help. Those people over there don't want to help. They came to Canada for help, but now that they're in Canada, they don't want to help, right? You know? But it's not about them. It's the idea that we're on a roll now. I'm going to just try and keep up with it. I probably won't pay Commerce in full this month, right? I'm not giving them $350. I'll give them $150. That gives me $200 to continue giving these guys at least $10 an hour, right? To continue working on these things so that hopefully by the...
I saw the ice cream truck.
Yeah, so hopefully by the end of August, September, all that stuff will be done. This will be done. The seedling room will be done. The greenhouse will be done. The X-Club repairs up there need to be done. The garage, hopefully, with my landlords, you know, taking the responsibility for that, will be done so the garage won't be leaking. That plastic will come down. Everything will be checked so I know that it's not going to come crashing down, right? And we might even get the leaky roof up on the porch there done. That would, and the gutter, because Rick says he knows how to do a gutter. So I'm feeling kind of positive with this. I don't know where I'm going to come up with $1,000 between now and the next 4 months, 2 months. It really needs to be done in 2 months. But I've got like $700 left on my Visa to borrow. And then that puts me another $5,500 in the hole. Thank you very much, Fraser Health Authority and CIBC Bank, and even quite possibly the City of Surrey with their wanting their taxes. As they're putting everybody behind in life and in the poorhouse. So, got 3 guys working. That's something positive in all that mayhem.